Hello, my beautiful peasants, and welcome back to the Taverb. It is another Taverb Chronicle episode, which is exciting because we had that little brief return where I did spicy arts. Speaking of, there'll be more of those kind of streams in Discord. Alo's already set up the roles and all the kind of good stuff. I just haven't made the announcement yet, but more on that later. So today, I want to make a new character. But first, I wanted to look at the beer golem here and see if he is done or not. So I'm going to put a little pose on him, pretty much just kind of like putting him off kilter, having one foot raised up, that kind of thing. But you guys can vote whether or not you want him to be done or start a new character. Again, I'm still going to break this symmetry a little bit. But yeah, figured we'd start with that. Hello, hello. Let's see everyone we've got here. We have Paint. It's Delirious, Just Lingual, Ray, Otaka, and Monkey. Hello, hello to all of you. Yeah, it's been a while since Ray and Monkey have been in the same chat. I love that. Because any adjustments on the beer golem will be very, very small. I might add a little more texture to his beard. Alright, but other than that, probably not much. Probably not much. I see I got a couple people voting. Say yes, character, this is done. Next character begins. I'm open to that for sure. And I have a list of like potential ideas we could do, but it's been so long. I figured a couple weeks, so I figured we'd just start fresh, have new ideas, and see what we start today. I know one of our ideas was giving him like a wife, essentially, like a wine variant. That concept is a little more hazy for me, but I wouldn't be completely against it if you guys just went crazy for it. I know we also had the idea of a like spider humanoid bard that plays multiple instruments, which sounds super difficult and super cool. I thought he was throwing up beard. That's horrible. It's a beard. It's not just Well, I mean, his hair reads really well, so I'll take that as a win. Ray, you're coming out swinging saying that. Oh my gosh. Alright, looks like the majority of y'all are thinking, this is done. Next character begin. I like it, I like it. Let's get talking. What is the next character? So far, our characters have been the Pug Taverb Keeper, which is inspired by my dog, who is a pug, Marty the Mug Mimic, and then we have Barry the Beer Golem. These are all very like fit into a Taverb. It doesn't have to be that literal and on the nose. We could start branching into like potential customers and people that are just passing through, which means literally anything. It's hairy knees as well. No, it's beer. It's beer. It's all beer. Not hair and vomit. Sorry, much love. I'm gonna be devastated if someone like paints this and like the beer, they paint it like his beard. Beard. Anyway, they paint it like green, like vomity color. Ugh. No, it's beer. Anyway. And then of course, if you guys don't have a ton of ideas or like a clear vision on what this next character you want to be, I will probably just start designing something and we'll kind of just wing it from there. I'm also open to that. In the meantime, let me get this kind of situated. Do I have all of these placed here nicely? I do. Oh my god, he's so cute though, I will say. So those are our characters so far. I don't even think I kept them all in the same file. See, it even says beard foam. Not that you can see that. Oh good, I did keep those other models. Excellent, excellent. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna kind of redecorate our scene here while we think about some new. See, look how weird he looks without the beard. Speaking of, my husband Ricky shaved off all of his facial hair, which I have not seen his chin since we like started dating, like when we were like 16. So That was jarring. And he didn't tell me or anything. He was just like, oh, I'm gonna go trim my mustache. And I'm like, cool. And he comes back and it's just nothing. He looks so young. I was like immediately like doing my skincare routine and stuff because I'm like, I look like too old to be with you now. Anyway, I posted a picture in Discord if you wanted to see it. Sean's cracked me up. Sean's was like, why? I mean, it's fine, but why would you do that? I think it was a very unintentional roast. It was very funny. All right, so we got this. I don't know why this lost its color. There we go. I'm gonna make a new tool here where I just organize all of our finished models. I didn't export these ones with paint, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Yeah, because we got Barry, Marty. There we go. Hey, Wendelier, welcome in. I've not seen Mia do a character with a lantern as a focus. I have only done 2, and because you brought it up, I'm gonna show them to you. Not that I wouldn't mind doing another. You know I love that. They're old too. They're so old, so brace yourselves. This is one that I did. This is a lantern wraith. That was back in 2022. And then I also did another one called Faceless, which is a monster. And he's ripping his chest open and there's a lantern inside. Also a much, much older model. This was also 2022. It makes sense. They're kind of similar quality level. They're okay. Not, again, we don't bash our old art here, but they're fine. I think it's a really cool concept. But yeah, they don't wow me. Hey Loa, welcome in. I do think a lantern focused character could be really cool. But again, I am open to finally starting that spider bard character, which was suggested by Aloha, but also a few other people, which is funny because I think it was Max who came in and was like, hey, what if we do this? Totally unrelated to seeing Aloha's suggestion. It was kind of cool. Hive mind. Yeah. Gonna get those out of here and then continue kind of building this other tool with all the finished pieces. I should probably put these to scale. Visually, anyway. Why did I make my dog so thick? Jesus. Okay. I imagine he would be about half the height of the beer golem, if not less. And then the mimic would be even smaller than that. So here are our characters so far. I guess I'm going to put color on none of them just to make it consistent. There we go. This is our lineup so far. 100% this looks like a future Kickstarter project. I'm loving this. Just Lingual says, we need a quest giver NPC, eventually. Someone to brood in the corner. I'm open to that. Ray agrees. You're so right. When Dahlia asks, does he do extra damage against sober people or drunk people? Sober, because you can't stand drunk people when sober. About exactly what I was going to say. Beautiful, beautiful. Probably not surprising to anyone, but I'm not much of a drinker. I am always a designated driver. No tragic backstory. I just think it tastes bad. I've definitely had those friends who are like, oh, I make such good mixed drinks. I'm like, you're gonna love it. You can barely taste the alcohol. And I sip on it and I'm like, that, my friend, is nail polish remover. Horrible. Oh, goodness, goodness. All right, so it looks like some of our tentative ideas here so far. We have something with a lantern focus, so some sort of creature. We have a quest giver NPC, which is, I want to say just terribly vague, but I actually can see it. For some reason, they have a hood and like a big cape, and it's just like spooky, beckoning, come over here kind of vibe. Like, I could see that. You're so right. Apple juice is the way. Did I tell you guys I got carded for buying apple juice a long time ago? Yeah. Anyway. It's Martinelli's, so it comes in like the champagne bottle. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. And then I'm also, again, I'm still bringing it up, even though you guys haven't brought it up yet, but I'm still very, very cool with doing a spider bard folk that plays in the corner, who would not look like he belongs at all it would look very grimdark, but I have no problem with it being a little stylistically spicy and diverse. I'm gonna go ahead and put a poll in here because we do have some ideas. Next, character idea. Spider folk like bard. And again, it'd be like a human with multiple arms. Let's see, it was the classic NPC quest giver and lantern focused creature. These are all pretty nebulous, which I like. And obviously there's another option which she can comment. Aloha says the Taverb's leveling up, guys. Yeah, it is. This is kind of more behind the scenes, but I have essentially fired myself from anything but literal streaming. I went to my mods this morning or a few hours ago, and I was like, I don't want to do anything but stream. So you guys need to do everything else. I will pay you or whatever you want, mentorship for, I don't care. Whatever bartering or literal cold hard cash you need, name your price. Doesn't mean I'll pay it, but I'll figure something out. And we'll figure something out. So we are operating on a 2 stream a week minimum starting this week. Yeah. Because it's so insidious, guys. The creeps, like the scope creep of running something like this, where I'm like, oh, well, I'll just do this, and I have like the sesh bot, and I have this, and it's not a big deal, and I make my thumbnails and whatever. And I realize I just start kind of avoiding it, but I didn't burn out on it. I just kind of, I feel like I just don't have enough time to start the stream, so I just don't. Like this last month has been great. Yeah, I keep getting scope creeped out of my own streams. So, yeah, my mod's been around, well, Aloha, for about a year now. And I'm like, I think I trust you guys, actually. You do it. Yes, it'll be very good. Just Lingual says, not gonna lie, I once downed 3/4 of orange juice in one go, so I think I love citrus. That is diabolical. You sound like... My husband the same way. He has like the gut of a raccoon. If I drink cold water too fast, I feel sick. I just not tough in that regard. Oh my goodness. Oh, and I have hired Reaper to make some emojis for our Discord. I bought 6, and I already got a little sneak peek of what they're gonna look like, and they look so freaking cool. Obviously I say for Discord, but they'll be on YouTube as well. It's gonna be a good time. Is that a hole in my sweatpants? I think it is. I like insist on doing all my barn chores and like standing outside by like when we do bonfires in sweatpants. I don't know why. Once it's not summer, I'm like into sweatpants all the time, always cold. But now all my clothes are stuffed with hay and then holes from the freaking, I look homeless. Anyway, yeah, Wendelier says a Drider bard who only plays the itsy bitsy spider. I love that because I'm imagining this very grimdark character, so that's darling. Ooh, looks like the Spiderfolk bard is in the lead. Ooh, okay. Yeah, of course. Let's do something difficult. Sounds wonderful. All right, well, you know what that means. We're gonna start resource gathering. If you'd like to be part of this resource gathering adventure, you are more than welcome to. Join our Discord and go to the channel Taverb Chronicles. In there, you can add reference photos for this character. I'm gonna ping you guys again to show you where it's at. I'm gonna have to make a new, I'll ask Aloha that later. I'm like, is that a necessary ping? Oh, I could actually already tell Aloha to do that. Baby steps. All right, you can share your spider folk like bard inspo pictures here. Bam, and I pinged you guys again. And I'm gonna bring it to Pinterest and we're gonna get rolling. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I have this really cool, like, I don't use PureRef, I use something called Eagle, and it is a image gathering app. All right, let me go ahead and call it. We're just gonna call it Spider Bird for now. Spider Bird, Spider Bird. Okay, you guys have seen the Simpsons movie, right? Okay. Hello, Paint. Crap, I missed the start. Yeah, it's off to a spicy start too. Aloha, it's happening. I'm gonna literally type in Spider Bird and see if Pinterest knows what I'm talking about. It sure does. Oh, a weaver is cool. And again, when you're gathering inspiration pictures or references, you don't have to be so literal. Like, I've had students get confused when gathering references because they can't find their like the character they're looking for. I need a picture of a spider folk, multi-armed creatures, them interacting with objects, whether that is a weaver or a musician. It doesn't have to be so literal. Okay. And there are the inspo pictures coming in. Thank you guys. Oh my gosh, Paints is so cute. Look at her. Okay, I didn't think about making her hot. Okay, not against that. That might be a poll. Grim dark or hot? God, these polls are gonna be absolute chaos. That's fine. All right, there's a new poll up to kind of help this direction here for the spider bar direction. Grim dark, sorta hot, why not both? I'm being totally serious. Alrighty, I love this. See, this is kind of grim dark and sorta hot at the same time. Let's put this over here. I know, it can be mostly my screen. I'm definitely gonna grab this reference. I love her hair, my goodness, gorgeous. Ooh, I love the face on this. Spider people are so cool. So this spider folk is a little more on the literal side. I don't plan for it to be a spider with a human torso. I was thinking more human with multiple limbs, but we can talk about that. I love that I say more human with multiple limbs, and then I see this thing, and I'm like, not what I mean. Not what I mean. All right, is there a way to get this larger? There we go. I'm like, I can do this smarter. I just know it. There we go. Oh my goodness. Who is that? All right, Ray just shared, like, this is what I'm thinking about. Also, this combines my grim dark and sorta hot. This is what I mean by why not both. This is what I mean. Why not both is the only correct answer, right? Can we just sculpt this exactly? Oh my goodness. My heart. Ooh, this is a great reference also from Ray, sharing the multiple arm reference. If you want to see all the references from the community, you have to join the Discord. Simple as that. I'm not going to share all of them unless they're quintessential. All right, Spider Bird's happening. I'm going to start taking notes, and then, like always, I do want to do the lore scrolls and stuff, so if you have been helpful enough, I will be writing your name down, and you will be honored on the scroll. Ray is our first one to be honored, just because some of these references are quintessential. Oh, you can put it back. I don't care if it's AI modified. We're making human art here. I'm not worried if some of the input is not perfectly pure. Just Linkle said, I sculpted a human with many limbs. He wanted to reference it. Of course I do. Anytime you guys can share your own art as well, I want to see it. Ray says, I can't wait till the day someone makes the Taverb 3D and just has scenes of Mia's creations existing and interacting. I will absolutely dissolve into a puddle. That 100% would make me cry. It'd be great. Oh, it's another great character. Cool. Oh, I like this more Japanese influence, and I like that outfit better as well that Ray just shared. I will add that one as well. How awesome. Okay, so we're on, these polls are going fast. So if you want to vote, you got to vote like immediately because I'm just replacing them with the next poll. Why cry, Miss M3DM? I would cry because anytime I feel any emotion that is above like a 5 out of 10 intensity, I cry. If I'm really mad, I cry. If I'm really sad, I cry. If I'm really happy, I cry. It's annoying. I think that's probably why I'm naturally a little, like, I'm probably a little more on the stoic side. It's just a coping mechanism for the amount of maybe because I didn't cry like my entire childhood. I don't know what it was. I didn't cry when I was born. They thought I was dead. Anyway, Mia lore. Okay, moving on. Alrighty. What, was my 2D Taverb not good enough? You know that was incredible, Monkey. I'm already thinking of that. I'm like, why is that map not just my background for my streams? See, I'm gonna make that Aloha's problem. This is the beginning. Well, it depends how much time Aloha has. Nothing's official yet. I don't want to like, I'm pretty sure, but I don't want to speak ahead. There was a 2D Taverb. See, I'm not doing a good job of sharing that enough. Monkey made a map for the Taverb, and it's absolutely amazing. I need a message. I will do those things. Okay. All right. Why not both and sort of hot? 1, very good. And now let's kind of talk about... I'm sorry, but it was too cursed to remember. Aloha killed him, he rests with Torben now. I remember now. Bad. All right, moving on. I'm gonna have our next poll, design direction. All right. Right now, the design direction is looking a little bit more Japanese, but it doesn't have to be. It can be more, when I say grim dark, I think like, can we get some like more Elden Ring inspired references up here so I can give people an idea? Like when I say think grim dark and think like Elden Ring detail, I mean like tattered cloaks and like just wispiness, like that kind of thing. So again, but the possible design directions being Japanese, grimdark, and then I could do a more like folky character, like a whimsical, like a sweet one. But I don't think I'm passionate about that, so I'm not going to offer it as an option. Ooh, Aloha's references are up. Hell yeah. Yeah, so we have option between spider and more human, but grimdark, please. Yeah, I feel that. I might end up doing the Japanese one, though. I'm not sure. So when I do polls, usually I pick which one wins, but not always. Just a disclaimer. Do you ever pick cultures that help drive character design? Yep, it's happening right now. All right, here is more of that grimdark, which is perfect. Don't vote yet until you see this. There. To have more of this idea. So here's more of this Japanese influence, and then here's more of this grimdark direction, which they all look very heavy on the spider. We still haven't talked about whether or not we're going to do a human body or a spider body. Yeah, we're just like poll crazy here right now. I also need a name for this character. I do think it will be female. Why? Because I want to, and because there's like an old Greek tale that has a spider, Arachne, right? Her name's Arachne, I'm pretty sure, where she like weaves stuff. Anyway, it makes me think of that. Doesn't Arachne just literally mean spider? Arachnid, yeah. Drider, yeah. So a drider, that would be the more spider-based body. But I'm thinking we might do more humanoid. All right, 67% of y'all are saying grimdark. That's more than half the people have voted. Oh my God, Ray, that instrument. Okay, that's already in the lead, but we're doing grimdark. It has been decided because this reference that Ray just shared. Y'all are not ready for this. Wow. That's horrible. Awful. Okay, so we have one more poll that's super important. Other, think My Little Pony. Hello, dude. Welcome in. And that would be cute. That was kind of the more folky, whimsy character, but I didn't make it an option because I said I wasn't as passionate about it. Okay. Body type for the spider folk. Humanoid. or drider. So literal, like spider butt, or spider butt, like the spider body. You don't try to say it. Human torso on spider. All right, those are the two options. This is the most important poll. It will be up for the longest. Please vote. I'm leaning towards humanoid personally, not drider. Y'all would have to really convince me to do the drider one. I already have driders. I've already done it. I already have wolf. I already have spider queen. But I still want these as a reference. Goodness, my heart. Gorgeous. Dude, 100% Jess. I voted Grimdark. I know you did, because you and Aloha bonded over that, I'm pretty sure. Or was that Ron Swanson's mustache? It's quite a colorful cast of peasants we have. Alrighty, let's keep getting these references going. Thank you, Ray, for that horrible harp. That will be another discussion we have, picking what instrument she will have, but that'll be much later down the line. Yeah, Blue Jester, you found the same reference I did with the one that's knitting. Isn't that lovely? I already have that on my my reference board. Yeah, me too. I like that too. All right, let me grab. And then Foxy says, you mean like a certain character from a certain web cartoon made big on Amazon? I don't know. I've read a lot of webtoons, so I don't know why I don't know which one you're talking about. Alrighty. All right, and then Aloha. Look at the first image on the last one. Please. All right, first image on the last one. 1, 2, 3. Is that this one? Okay, so this is one that we're talking about. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Her face and the elvenness, and yeah, I really, really, really like it. I also like the texture on this one, but it's a little scary. Paste. Gathering my references, deleting references, it's a whole thing. Could we do a hurdy-gurdy as the instrument? Probably not. I'm probably gonna do a harp. Hurdy-gurdy, doesn't it have a bunch of little tabby petals and stuff? I've typed in hurdy-purdy. Hurdy-gurdy. Hurdy-gurdy. Okay. I'm gonna stop saying that. Oh, actually, this is not what I know what this is. I think it would just come across as a weird looking lute. So yes, potentially. Okay, I feel like since I pinged you guys to put in references, you guys put in a fuckload more references. I don't know why, but you did. So I'm gonna keep doing it probably. Thank you. Where's the My Little Pony option? See, Duke, this is what you caused. This is what happened. All right, let's simplify my mess of references here for a second. This is gonna be good. Oh, thank goodness you guys voted humanoid, many limbs. I agree. I didn't want to do a drider, but I still like to put it out there because occasionally the poll goes in the opposite direction that I'm wanting, and you guys are right. Occasionally. Alrighty. Spider Bard, humanoid, grimdark. Okay. I feel like I'm taking an order right now. Dude, Tips hat. Get out. No, I'm just kidding. A sitar would be cool. The hell is a sitar? Oh, a sitar? Sorry. I know what I'm talking about. I don't. It's spelled slightly different, I think. I might be wrong. I was reading sitar like a different version of a centaur. Like, that's why I was so sassy. Goodness, Mia. I think I'm gonna want this for the pose and the proportions. This will be the humanoid body that we're looking at here. We're not doing the antenna, they're ridiculous. Yes, that is a sitar. Gorgeous. I'm still haunted by this. This is going to be in my dreams. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's kind of look at the references we have here and what we got pieced together. Why are you not? There we go. Do the thing. Oh, isn't that satisfying? It fills the whole screen. All at once. Alrighty, so I like to organize these in like my primary references. So I usually put the ones that I, you know, want to follow the most closely towards the top. So grimdark is very important, but the body and the shape is the most important. So this will be the first one. She's not going to be this snatched, don't worry. It's not going to be just, it's not going to be a booby character, I promise. These are the three I think that are speaking to me the most, though I really like the sweetness. I think she would fit in the Taverb the best. So I'm probably gonna do this hairstyle almost exactly. And then the hairpins, I'm gonna replace with something else, not drumsticks, but I know I can think of something, like a tuning key maybe. I can think of something. Very good. A theremin would be funny as shit. It would be. And there is Just Linkles. I'm gonna put this in here because I think it's fun as heck. Just Lingual. This is art from our community. Who doesn't love that? But you're not gonna be in the first row. But I still love it. All right. Yeah, Lady Rachel just said, oh nice, you rarely see them done as male. So true. So true. And then someone put in a League reference. Look at that silhouette. That's a little closer to kind of what I'm thinking about here too. I know, Ray, you're literally in art school and literally a great artist, but I'm always just floored when I'm just like, you and Aloha both went to art school, duh. Not surprising that I'm like, that is the main references I grabbed. Okay. Alrighty, so for our contributions, we have Ray, Aloha, and the Just Linkle is going to get honored just because they share their own art, and I really, 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 really enjoy that. We're undecided on instruments and stuff, so we still have a lot else. Obviously, thank you everyone for sharing references and stuff. You're all very appreciated. Paint says, okay, really weird idea. Brace yourselves. Spider silk bags for boobs, but they're more like pockets or flails. Insane. No. But I do love it. Amazing. All right, I'm really enjoying this. Don't remind me, last 3 to 4 months of university. Yay, almost done. I'm excited for you. Hey, Catfish is here. Hey, welcome back. Just Lingual says, I think the more noble feel of the knitting reference adds something. I agree, and it makes you want to do possible variants of this character, so we'll keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to change our screen today. Oh, can we get a name? Can we, is that too soon to workshop a name here other than Spider Bard? I want to name her like Celia. Or is that too close? I just think of celiac. Maybe because I have gut problems. All right, I'm going to edit our screen here to say, at least it was considered. Honestly, immediately I'm like, spicy art, sexy spider. We'll go full hot. Cynthia the spider. I've known a I can't do Cynthia. You know how you meet someone, you're like, I just, Cynthia beef. But I like that we're on the Sin page. I feel like I'm just roasting the shit out of paint today. It's because you know I love you. There we go. Got this up. New Taverb Chronicle is today's sculpt. And we're going to specify now it is going to be a spider bird. Spider bird. Very good. Samir. Ooh, I like that. Samir, the spider bard. Ooh, the bard spider. That sounds better. It's going to have to be Samir unless someone strongly convinces me otherwise. I love Samir. Ooh, I love that reference from Blue Jester. That's going to be in here too. Thank you. Spard. Spard, the spider bard. No, that's really funny. You got a good laugh out of me. Thank you for the honor. More ego boost for my narcissism. Just single, you're like the most humble. Shut up. You're so nice. All right. Samira. Ooh, Samir. Okay, either way, Paint has now made it to the Peasant honors because love the name. We're gonna make a new poll for Samir or Samira because they're so similar and they're both so good. Name for, it should be Bard Spider, but I can't stop calling it Spider Bard, and now someone said Spard. I think it's so funny. I'm gonna put that as a choice, but it can't win. If you vote for Spard as her name, it's not going to win. You're just throwing away your vote. We have Samir and Samira. All right, the name options are up. Hello, said let's go, Mia. I wanted this fighter character from you for so long because it's got crazy cool silhouette and ethereal vibes to it. And honestly, like, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do this character more than once. Like I'll do this character and call it done, but I think I might come back to this a few times because it's such a hard character to get right. There's so much potential there. Also, your Monster Hunter armor set we played was spider based. Yeah, the Lala Brina. Yeah, oh, it's so good. The ruffles, so good. All right. Awesome. I have never thrown away a vote faster. You guys are trash. The 43% of you who have voted for Spard, all of you, garbage. You've all thrown away your vote. Damn it, catfish. This is Sparta. No, get out. What about Spardira? Okay. I don't hate it. I'm a little mad about the poll results. I don't know why I made that an option. Oh my god. Also, and even more annoying news, Samira and Samira are both tied at 29% of the vote, which is super annoying because if the 43% of you goblins did not vote for Spard, we would have a decision. I do like Spadira, or Spardira, because Spard, it has to have Spard in it. See, I'm trying to like censor it out. I am honored that we have 14 people watching this hanging out and we haven't even sculpted anything yet because we're just concepting and designing together. Like that's just, as a creator, it's really fun to be able to share this with you. Ah yes, Mia, gives us a troll option. It's surprised we picked it. I wanted to give the option because I knew like Catfish would want to vote for it and be funny, so I thought I'd have like one vote. I did not think that. You're right. I don't know why I'm surprised. I don't know why. I perpetually live as like the surprise Pikachu face beam. I don't know why. Speen. Get out. Spartacus or Weaverus. Spartacus is too masculine. Oh, duh. That's the point. I want to throw out a completely different name. Araya. Arara? I can't pronounce it, so no. What was that stupid word I couldn't say on stream and it was super embarrassing? Never mind, let's move on. Courgette, okay. Alright, we're gonna do a new poll since you guys ruined that one. Thanks. I think Spardiras. No. I'm gonna have to decide. No, it's gotta be Spardira. It's got the lore. Alright. Alright. If you want, you had it right the first time. Gotta ruin it. If you want Spardira. That is right. If you want Spardira to be the name, put a spider emoji in the chat. Spardira. I like it. Samira Spard Weaver. That's fun too. Add one more vote to Spard. I was too busy to throw away my vote. I think we got a name. All right, we got all the pieces that we need. It is time to sculpt. Very good. All right, we're going to move this out of the way. Again, I like to have my layers here. I'm going to screenshot this and it'll hang out on my screen as I sculpt. Just like that. I can usually put it right here. There's only one pop-up that comes up, which is, oh, use Sculptress Pro when this mode's activated. These stupid little notifications in ZBrush, you cannot get rid of them permanently, and they drive me crazy. Every time you change your masking brush, it's also like, you're changing your masking brush. I'm like, I know. It's very Windows behavior. Okay. Very passionate rant over both of those dumb messages out of the way. We're good. We're good. I've never seen She-Ra. Half a win is still a win. Don't warn me, ZBrush. I know I'm about to fuck things up. Oh, I love that. I did not see any spray deer. No, ooh, that's a great reference. Who is that from? This is really nice. We're gonna put this on the screen. Well, now I gotta redo my screenshot. I don't know why I'm mad about that. All right, I have to redo all of this because someone just put in a reference so good, I have to stop everything. It's not quite as on the grim dark side, but I can make it more grim dark elements, but I love the silhouette. I just love everything about this. Needs more limbs, but other than that, really good. Okay. Can we move this window, please? There we go. Make that a little bit smaller. Perfect. And are these all the references I want to see? I'm going to boot this one because we're not at instruments quite yet. Just lingual has to be up here because it's just lingual. All right, there we go. Now we can do the thing. Just make sure I don't lose the grimdark element too much, guys. I feel like that's something I might lose on accident. The wraps is going to help a lot. Her hair is going to be a very large, important component of this. Okay. All right, we are actually doing the thing, guys. We are doing the sculpting. We're going to save this as Taverb Chronicles. Bam. And then we are going to go into a program you guys never see me use, even though it's kind of the backbone of my base meshes. This is called ZBuilder 3. Did I tell you guys I totally embarrassed myself with this creator throwing a fit because you have to renew a license key every 3 months, and I threw a huge tantrum about it? Yeah, it was great. I went full Karen on that. I don't know why. I don't know why. All right, but this is how I create my base meshes. Recently, I have been using this for every single model. It takes me longer, but my model's been looking more different, which just makes me happy. We're gonna turn on the clay render here. Godric, the grafted, is a spider. If you squint really hard, definitely has some grim dark. Oh, you betcha. Do you use PureF? No, I don't like it for... I don't know why whenever I say I don't like something, I don't know why I immediately imagine the developers of PureF watching this, and I'm like, it just horrifies me. Like, no, the software's fantastic. You should use PureF. I just don't like it because I can't remember how to click the same buttons in a row. It's 100% a skill issue. Okay. I do want her more on the muscular side just because for the silhouette that I'm wanting here. She will also be skinny muscular. Very good. And then limbs. All right, we're going to... Oh, you guys can't even see my sliders. Let me show you this really quick. Welcome to the teaching screen. Okay, so I got these little sliders right here. It's like forms, head, faces, and they're just little sliders right here. I'm not like some sculpting god. Blue Jester says, gotta head to bed shortly. Hope some were of use / general interest. You betcha. I love that you share your creative vision here. You've always got cool things to say. All right, we're checking out her face. Gonna change some of this. I do want it a bit more on the Asian, which I associate with Elven side. We're gonna make her eyes larger because minis. The rest of it's good. We're gonna make her ears larger and pointed. I know they look silly, but it's just easier for me to grab later. And then as far as the forms, I want her arms to be a touch longer. No, I will modify that later myself. It'll be easier. All right. I want to change a lot on her face, but this is a good starting point. All right, get model. This does tend to crash a lot. Please be good. Yay. Now don't breathe too hard or it will just crash. You gotta like really make sure you get out of this for a second. I'm gonna get rid of the top subdivision levels right off the get-go because I just don't need a million polys. Great. There's our starting point. I've been really tempting the YouTube gods here with nudity and issues. If the stream just goes dark, I'll see you on Discord and we'll continue. ZBuilder 4, I refuse to pay for new things when my old thing is working. I'm a bit of a cranky old goat that way. I haven't even looked at it. I figured it would probably exist. No. Okay. I'm gonna take a break. I need to take a break. It's been an hour. Okay. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And then we're gonna be sculpting. For real. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I insist, please subscribe. This channel, but this is great. I'm great, but the community is unbelievable. These people are so kind, so cool. Join the Discord. If you are trying to make more art, they will hype you up so much. Like, join the Discord and subscribe. Okay, I'll see you guys in like 5 minutes. Break time. How are we doing? We're back. I think I'm lipstickless. This is so insanely obnoxious in person, but once it's on camera, it just looks like I have color again. I straight up have this never leaves the house. This just lives on my desk for streaming only. Alrighty. We are beginning the actual sculpting. I'm very excited. It is so important that we don't rush the beginning and that we're not like super attached to how it's looking, if that makes sense. What I'm going to do here is really just kind of focus on sculpting for the next like 20 minutes or so. I'm gonna set a timer for 15 minutes and just kind of ignore y'all. I'm going to open up the Taverb Night mod chat only. So there we go. Hello, if you need me, I have that chat open that you can grab my attention to answer questions and whatnot. But for the next 15 to 30 minutes, I'm just going to sculpt and vibe. I trust you can handle the pheasants. All right, let's start. Of course, I'll still be narrating my process and kind of sharing what my vision is here and my plans. I like that she's already looking pretty lanky, but I do need to adjust some parts of her body here. Her shoulders are much too broad, so I'm going to bring in her shoulders. I also want to really push her forms to be almost uncomfortable to look at, so in order to achieve that, we are going to make her neck just a touch longer. Usually changing things in like 5 to 10% ratios. I also don't want her having this like chunkier neck here. I do want it to have this kind of like a V sharp shapes throughout the entire body, which is what's going to give it more of that like arachnid goodness look. I'm using my damp sander brush here to strike these forms in pretty harsh, just so I don't forget about them. I can soften it up later. I'm also going to bring some bony landmarks out, such as her collarbones. Again, I don't care if it's rough. I just want the shape. All right, I'm happier with that. I'm thinking about if I want her torso to be longer or shorter. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I'm gonna make her breasts a little bit more full instead of quite as athletic, and bring them in a little more of that teardrop shape. There we go, because they connect to these points here. Again, boobs, always think teardrop shape, always, not orbs. All right, I like these little striations we have on her arms. We'll build that up more, but that's a finer detail. All right, I am going to put something on her really quick, just so I don't have to worry about the YouTube gods being like, I cannot handle another second of this. I do think it'd be fun if it was just kind of like some fabric drapery. What's gonna read as grim dark to me here is going to be like this wispy, shredded fabric. Like if you just looked at her clothing, she'd almost feel like a wraith. All right, I don't like these forms here. I don't like the perfectness of it. So what we're going to do is turn on Sculptris Pro instead. I'm going to grab my move brush here, but enable, or no, snake hook, my bad. Enable Sculptris Pro. And then I can really start playing with the shapes here. Ooh, I want this to be kind of baggy. Oh, I'd love for the back of this model to have like a low back, dramatic moment, and then can show off all those like beautiful scapula and shoulder blade details, because she's gonna have a lot of arms. So that's just one wisp of fabric here. There's gonna be multiple layers for sure. When you are doing models that you want to be impressive and something you haven't seen before and something interesting, unless you're some like art god, I can't do it sculpting. I cannot achieve those results by sculpting clean. I don't know if it's a skill issue or if it's just, this is just the way that it should be done anyway. I do want it to be feminine and kind of beautiful, but I don't necessarily want it to be like a boob moment. You know what I mean? Those aren't necessarily the same thing. All right, I'm going to duplicate this, delete the top of the bodice, and I'm going to use this second layer here to build up even more shapes. Actually, to make it even more fun, I'm going to start using some modifiers such as twist and taper. Again, she's not supposed to look like, what's the word? We're not going for pretty princess, we're looking for grimdark. I grab move topological to have a little bit more control here. I do not care about the topology at all. This is just concepting. It's so much easier to build something clean on top of something ugly instead of trying to make something clean and interesting at the same time. I can't multitask, can you? I mean, seriously. Why do one thing well when you can do multiple things poorly? No, but seriously, the joke stands, but do things well. And if you want to do some things well, you probably can't do many at the same time. Think of like the way like Bob Ross does his paintings, you know, like he builds things up. He's not doing the trees and the stream at the same time, you know? He's not doing the details and the blockout at the same time. It's a layering process. I need to bring that in a lot. We will have multiple eyes. I'm not looking at the chat right now, but I just know someone thought it. I could feel it. I could feel the telepathy hive mind. I also don't like, so on when you're dealing with like your face planes and stuff, like this is kind of like your little like mouth circle here, you have to be really, really careful with these nasal labial folds for two reasons. One, the deeper they are, the older you look, but also you can kind of get this like muzzle look or sunk in look. It's a very sensitive area, but it's also something that can like change the proportions of your character dramatically. So have fun with it, but just be careful the way that it sits. Like right now her mouth is kind of sitting forward, so I'm going to bring it in a little bit and pull it back a little bit to get rid of this like muzzle look. It's very, very subtle, but oh god, faces, don't get me started on faces and subtle. Jeez, so sensitive. Speaking of, I'm gonna do a small pivot here to talk about a student's assignment because I have a student that had a question and this is relevant. Paint, I don't know if you're here, but it is currently 1 hour and 2 minutes into the stream. Somebody remember that if I need to ask you later, if that's okay. Because I might need to give them this timestamp. So my student had this piece they were working on, which is somewhat similar to the face I'm working on now. And they asked me, why do the eyes look wrong? I like that you have the eyelid as separate subtools. I also like doing that when I'm doing my creature design and stuff. Like I will just have like the eye, I'll split it in half to pull up the top eyelid and pull down the bottom eyelid. That is fine. Hey, paint, good. That is fine, but you have completely abandoned all of the bony landmarks that are important even in the eye. There are certain turning points that happen in the eye, no matter what the eye shape is. So I'm gonna do a little screenshot here. And we are going to do a little draw over because you'll see what you're missing. First and foremost, make that larger. You must have plane changes. Right now, you're drawing like the shape of an eye the way like we think of it like an icon. You're drawing it like that, but that's not what an eye looks like. First of all, you must have this inner corner. And then there are these transition points. So there's a plane change. There's a plane change. Here's a plane change. Now I'm going to connect them and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. Draw a line here. I'll make it skinnier and in pink. There. And then when I get to that plane change, that connection point, it changes. Now it's straight, Comes down, straight, straight. But each of those dots, you know, that I put on there, it's where that plane is changing, where it's wrapping around the eye, which is, you know, a sphere. And you can actually look at this triangle here to kind of see what your eye shape is like. This triangle tells you a lot. If you take this, you know, shape right here, and you make it longer or you make it wider or whatever you want, you can get all kinds of different eyes. Especially if you look like an anime, you can get a lot of information on like the ways you can push this. However, those connection points, those plane changes are still there. So important. So again, your eye is not seeing, I mean, also because like the rest of your head's not done. So you don't have the brow ridge, you don't have, you know, the bridge of the nose, all these other things and these important landmarkers. You just have floating features. That aside, I'm still zeroing in on those eyes to try to help. I hope that makes sense. If you're stuck on that, draw more eyes with a pencil first. It will help. And then once you have that, you can start to see how it connects to the rest of the face. I'll do it in a different color here, because this all just kind of wraps up. See what I mean? You're missing that. This is just completely, what you have right now looks more like this, where it's just totally flat. There's no curvature happening. And this same kind of shape that bends up here, you see it on the bottom here with the eyelid. You see that 3D-ness? You see, there's so much that goes on that's so important. But that's why your eyes look weird. That's what's wrong. You don't have these points where it's clearly changing and you're missing that little tear duct area. So now that I've kind of did that draw over, I can show you guys how I know how I can change this eye shape. If I want to make her eyes bigger, I can't do this. Kind of. It looks okay. It looks horrifying. If I actually want to make her eyes bigger, I need to respect the way it fits into the face and not lose those plane changes. So where it's flatter right here, I can just pull that longer, pull that deeper into the face. So it's still weird. It's still jarring to see the eyes larger, but you see how it didn't like completely fall apart? Because I still kept these points where the planes change. I don't want her eyes bigger, that was just a demonstration. All right, that looks good. Her nose is kind of boring. I don't know what I want to do with her nose exactly. But I do want to make this plane change here a little more dramatic, just because it's more fun. I'm very obsessed with like art, like the show Arcane exaggerates these a lot, and it's so satisfying. It's so cool to see. So now I'm starting to exaggerate it in my work as well. Also because I know where the damn things are. If you don't know, I've been putting myself through like a 2D art boot camp recently where I draw every day. I haven't been drawing this last week because I got really tired. I don't know why. We got a lot of snow, but I don't think that was the only reason. I live in a very small town, like very small. So we, when there's like weather changes and like we had like 6 inches of snow, it's a big deal here. We're not used to it. And I'm not used to it. Like, it's the most snow I've ever seen fall in my life was this like last weekend. It was stressful. But it was fine. Animals were fine. I was fine. It just freaked me out a little bit. My neighbors invited me over and they made snow cream for us. If you don't know what snow cream is, it's when you take a bucket or a bowl and you scoop off the top layer of snow and you mix in half and half in powdered sugar and you whip it up and then you eat it. So I went over to my neighbor's place. They invited the other neighbors across the street and we all sat around the table and had snow cream, and it was the cutest damn thing in my life. I wanted to cry. It was so sweet. I do think this weird, exaggerated, Joker-esque corners of the mouth could lead us to a bit of a more spider-like look. And I don't know why, so I'm not going to push it too much because I don't know why it's working yet. Don't guess when you're drawing or sculpting. Don't guess. I do want to kind of look at the rhythms of the face really quick here. So we have this sweeping line here. We also, if you follow the top of the ear tube thing, this thing, If you follow that on the bottom and swoop down to the chin, you get this other really beautiful line here. So I'm kind of just looking at these rhythms of the face right now and seeing how I want to adjust and play with them. I like to strike them in with the damp sander brush because it's easier for me to move them consistently then. Obviously I will smooth them out later, but honestly for the spider lady, maybe I won't. Maybe it looks kind of cool. I do want the chin to be a bit smaller, but because I'm still learning the rhythms of the face, before I adjust proportions, I always outline where that plane is at, and then I adjust it. It's kind of like a guideline. So I'm gonna go ahead and mask her mouth because I don't want to move that, and then now I can adjust her chin. And it's like, well, Mia, why don't you just do this and make her chin smaller? Because I just fucked up her jaw, her mouth. It's very sensitive. If you want to build confidence sculpting, don't start with faces. It's too much for a beginner, unless you have insane resilience. I don't. It would hurt my feelings immediately. I had to build up a lot to get to this point. All right, her eyes are weirding me out. They don't have any emotion. Oh, it's 15 minutes. Cool. So I'm gonna kind of bring this lid down here. And then she needs hair. We do have something interesting happening here though. I do like it so far. All right, it's been 15 minutes. Let me see what we're doing. Let's see what's happening. Yes, Arcane was a masterpiece. Mia's drawing and face practice really coming to play here. I know, I can draw now. Awesome, I'm glad that makes sense. Ray says, that was me. I don't know how she knew, but that was me. Yeah. I wish I existed in high res. Don't we all, Catfish? I know, the quads are delicious. I love the quads on this face mesh. It's Sean! Yes, who? Hello, hello, welcome in. Don't you love panic attack for no reason? It's like your day is just like, you want to be spicier. I'm like, no, nothing is wrong. I was actually having a pretty good time, thank you. Not a therapist. But what works for me is I imagine my anxiety freak out is like a separate little passenger and it can just hang out next to me. And I'm like, you can do that. I'm still gonna do the rest of my day. You're safe, you're calm, you're fed, but we're gonna continue. Obviously, I always do a check to be like, are things actually wrong? Sometimes there actually is something wrong, but generally not. Okay. Nothing that needs my immediate attention. Jean's deep breaths. Another 15 minutes. Let's go. Hey, both the robots here. Hello, hello. I'm doing a little focus sculpting session right now, but we are designing our next Taverb Chronicles character. It's going to be a spider bard. Excuse me. Here's our references. Her name is Spadira. Definitely not inspired from a dumb reference suggestion to make her name Spard for Spider Bard. We made it prettier. Or Loa did, so Spadira. All right, she needs hair and multiple arms. Ooh, I don't want to do this like that. I will keep this sphere here to work with the volumes of her hair, but I don't want to mess with the hairline just by hoping for the best. There was a hairstyle that I really liked in our references, and I'm gonna go look at it right now. I want this hairstyle. So I'm gonna grab that picture, I'm gonna throw it right here, and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna concept this shape. Wish me the best. Hair tutorial time. That's not a tutorial, but you can ask questions if you want. I may or may not answer them. If I don't answer your question, just because I didn't see it. Also, her ear is not pointing the right direction at all. You weren't important though. We're not dealing with ears right now. Okay, hair. First thing we're gonna do is mask the shape of her hairline. Think like a bald cap. Oops. This is gonna go pretty quick, so if you have questions, you're gonna have to repeat them because I'm not gonna talk to you guys for 15 minutes. I clicked extract on the wrong side. So whenever you mask something and click extract, it's what is masked that will extract. So make sure you hold command and click, invert your mask. There you go. If you're like, Mia, it looks so poofy and dumb. Yep, that's sculpting. That's my answer to pretty much everything at this point. My students were so sweet, and they're all at different levels, but something that's pretty consistent between all my students is, but it looks bad, I must be doing bad. And I'm like, bro, that's art. It looks bad for a long time. Have fun with it. I feel like you can't say that if you're like a brain surgeon. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just feel honored to have a job where it's I guess more relaxed. It's hard to say. All right, so on this side, it just kind of swoops straight back. So we're gonna kind of turn off symmetry and mark that line out. These are gonna swoop back as well. We'll have this lovely bang section. That is good enough. I'm now going to duplicate this, cut off these little strand bits, smooth. And then from here, I'm gonna start creating the bangs. I really don't need all this through the rest of the hair. Just like that. All right, I'm gonna use the move brush, or actually, snake hook is my new best friend. Snake hook for literally everything I do now. All right, what is the main volume here? Right here. Create that volume. And then if you want to add more volume to it, use move and backface mask. And voila, you're pretty much unstoppable now. All right, I have a strand of hair. It looks like something. I'm gonna get a better rhythm to it, something that has more of a curve that I like. That's good. And again, I'm not like actually recreating this hairstyle exactly. I'm just using it as a reference to get something that I enjoy. Where's my move brush? What the heck? Why is transpose line locked on? Do you see this? There we go. ZBrush was just confused. I kind of want something that's gonna like curl in front of her face. I want a little bit more drama. But she can't be too fabulous. This is still supposed to be grim dark. So if it's supposed to be grim dark, we need edgelord, which means no eyes or too many eyes. So we're gonna go with too many eyes. But I'm not concepting eyes yet. I'm not getting distracted. These little hair flips look so much better in 2D and they look ridiculous in 3D. If you're looking at a 2D concept and you're trying to do it one-to-one, just know that you're gonna get humbled. Some things work well in 2D and they don't work well in 3D. It doesn't mean it's not possible to make them work well. It's just, they're not the same. All right. I'm just duplicating these pieces over and over and it suddenly starts looking like a whole thing. I want a lot of sharper forms because spider, insect, sharp. When I dress the hairline, I do it in symmetry because most people have a symmetrical hairline. Oh, I have to give her a widow's peak, don't I? I mean, come on. I don't know how I'm gonna incorporate her curls into that, but I will. Oh, I'm not succeeding at that. Never mind. Okay, wait, no, the curl is the widow's peak. There we go. All right, we have that first volume of Crazy Bang, and then she's gonna have this beautiful braid. And I'm actually going to use a braid brush for that because I don't want to have to manually do the loopies all the way down. I do think a mermaid braid would be cool. I don't want to just like a classic braid. Yeah, I'll do a classic braid because I know how to fluff that. I don't know how to fluff a mermaid braid. All right, I'm actually, so my only complaint with this braid brush that I found is that it tapers too quickly, and then I realized, I can change that. If you go to stroke, curve modifiers, and then click on size, sure enough, here you go. So it's exactly like 1:1, it's linear, so that's why it's so harsh. All you have to do is just soften this up. So now, look, it's wider. Before, after, before, after. What I'm going to do as well to help myself out here is lock start, which I always forget where it is. Where are you? There it is, lock start, which means wherever it begins, it will stay there. This brush is also backwards in the way I want to use it. See how it's like, it gets larger? So I can fix that as well. Go to stroke, curve, and then flip. See, it was like this, now it's like this. So now it's gonna do the opposite in the direction that I want. So cool. All right, all I have to do is get the position where the braid is starting correct, and then I can edit the rest. See? Curve brushes are finicky. I think it was Jess Lingual recently who was like, I used a curve brush and I didn't like it. So if you have any questions while I'm using this curve brush, and if you're like, why is it listening to you? Because I have suffered many a moon longer than you. But no, seriously, if you have specific questions, I really want to help and demystify the curve brush because it's so fun and so powerful. All right, I now have this braid. We're gonna connect it to her head. It's still not as fluffy as I want it to be. Maybe I can increase the contrast. Ooh, that does a better job. I also need to roll this section of the braid. It seems like a fine adjustment, and it is. So something that confuses my students a lot is like when to adjust little things versus when to not get lost in the details. Pretty much if it affects the silhouette and the way that the model reads, it's probably worth addressing as soon as possible. This braid's gonna be a really important part. Speaking of, now I don't like a lot of this bang section. Can I mirror it? Ooh, that looks really stupid. But what if I merge them down and make them smaller? Now it looks not as stupid. Her lack of eyebrows is posing a challenge here. Also, the amount of curl on this one is too much. It's not giving grimdark. Grimdark is not luscious. It is drippier. We are pivoting the shape direction of her hair, and it's going to make more sense. Oh yeah, that's making more sense. She needs some really fine pieces as well. I don't want her to look like gross, but I also don't want it to look so luscious. All right, woman needs some eyebrows. That's hair, I can work on that now. I also want to give her multiple eyes, or I thought I did, so I'm not sure when I'm going to implement that. So the eyebrow, wherever like an eyebrow ring would be, like it's easy for me to, that's the edge of your brow bone. That's just the easiest way to like visualize it. So like here's like these lines, like on my head, it's pretty easy to see. Like to my hairline, here. Everything in between here is like flat. And then everything behind it is a plane change. It goes from here to this. So that's where your eyebrow bends. Bend. And then as far as like how long the tail of the eyebrow is, whatever, it's up to you. See, and then you get eyebrows that look like eyebrows. So cool. All right, those are a little chunky. Let's chill those out a bit. There we go. I also don't know how I want to create her like eyelash band thing. I usually import one that I've made before, but I feel like I want to try to do a better job. I don't know. I haven't redone like my little eyelash block in a long time. So let me just see if I can get something here that I like. And if it fights me at all, I'll just use the one I have before, because I think it needs almost like a hard surface approach. Nope, that's the wrong way. There we go. Let's do 0.0. Actually, let's maybe just 0 thickness. No, that's not a good idea. There we go. Have this little blob. We're going to polish it. Just need some more definition on the eyes. I don't know if I want to smooth it with Sculptris Pro. We're going to have a hot mess if I do that. And we don't want to obstruct the different plane changes of the eye, even when there's like an eyelash detail. I want her to look kind of stoic. I also don't like how low this eyelash or eyebrow fold is. I gotta have more like a monolid situation going on. There we go. Very good. I wonder if I want to duplicate that and kind of create another little lip of eyelash. Something going on with this mouthful range that I don't love, but that's a later problem. We're still very early. It's these lower corners. See, what's nice is once you know, like, if there's an area of a model that you don't like as much, you can like zero in on it, and then ideally you have background knowledge of where plane changes go and all that kind of good stuff, and you can start going through the planes that you know and see if any of those apply. All right, so the braid. It's pretty fluffy. I'm pretty happy with it. You can fluff it pretty easily by using the contrast slider. I'm also going to crease these edges so that when I do subdivide, it doesn't turn into like noodles. Ooh, it's been 15 minutes. I will check in with you guys in just a second here. So in this 30 seconds that you know I'm going to be checking the chat, if you have questions and they got buried, ask them again. It looks something like that. I'm just leaving those there for me to deal with later. Cool. Great behavior, peasants. Any questions or suggestions, let us know. Amazing. Mikey says, Mia, what was the class you're taking? I'm following Doodle Warriors by Angel for drawing. It's not like a class where I go to like class. 17 people here. Damn, that's a lot. Hello. So 14 is a favorite number, so anytime we're over 14, I'm especially excited. Sean says, Mia, what if the hair in front of the ears kind of curls into the face like spider fangs? Oh, like, that's cool. I ended up going drippy instead, but I'm gonna keep that in mind. Maybe I'll add fangs. The brain surgery looks bad, right? Like, I don't want my surgeon to say that. I agree, many eyes. All right, I don't see any other questions. So I'm gonna kind of maybe do one more 15-minute segment. I think I wanna add some poly paint. Yeah. I'm gonna paint for 10 minutes. Paint says, I don't know if the last photo of my project is very easy, but what is a way to see plane changes of a face, or is it more of a thing to study? You have to sculpt them. You have not done enough work on just sculpting a head. Like, I mean, you have, but I mean like of just the planes. You can't add features when the rest of your head is a blob. Does that make sense? Look up like I think it's the Loomis head or the Asaro head. Like, pick one that you like. Yeah, that's actually a good one too. I'm gonna type in Loomis head, Asaro head. Loomis head, Asaro head. Pretty sure that's how you spell it. Just look at those. If you can't sculpt that, don't sculpt eyes. Too soon. Catfish says, not a question, but the tip about making sure parts have some overhangs was helpful. Now I just do it for everything, right? It's just so nice. I love using move and back face mask. I think that's ZBrush specific, but yeah, and you just kind of like scoop it back. Perfect. And you don't have to go too crazy with that. 3D printers can handle a lot, but if you're just being conscientious about it, it goes a long way. All right, we are going to paint. I usually like using Skin Shade. Where the heck is it? Skin Shade is the only material that disappears from me in here, and I feel like it's on purpose. I always take it personally because I'm like, every other material is here, except the one that I want. Why? Whatever. I can use Fast Shader as well, but I'm not happy about it. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is change the lighting because I'm an okay painter, and this helps. Why does that not have any color on it at all? ZBrush. Don't be like this. You can even see on these pictures here, there's a bit of red on them now because ZBrush is seeing that I added a light with red, and then on this specific instance I took, it's like, no color for you. It's probably just because of that one I chose, Fast Shader. I guess we'll just use basic. Yeah. I'm just mad that the material that I use is not there. All right, continuing. When you are painting, just like anything else, you put in your like blocked colors first, and then you add more to it. I'm gonna make her really pale, and then with dark hair. Just makes my life easier. I tend to go with like a really basic two-tone color scheme in the beginning, and then I will add more from that point. I'm gonna merge down some hair strands to make my life easier. Grabbing the paintbrush here to do some manual painting. Gonna add some shadow to her eye, just a little bit of broodiness. Let's kind of zoom in here. And then for the actual eyeballs themselves, let's do red. Make them a bit lighter right here. Then I'll come in and add that same tone to her lips. Nothing crazy, just think it's gonna start breaking up this character. Makes it a little easier to see. She looks like a vampire. There we go. So much more interesting to look at, just like that. Sounds good, Sean. Ray says, Mia, look at the horrific faces I found in Discord. I will. Oh my gosh. I love the eyeball placement and stuff, though. Especially that top left one. Especially the fangs. Sounds good, just Slingle. Goodbye. If I add a bunch more eyeballs, I need to make more room on her face. I have an eyeball brush I'm going to use to concept placement. Need something slanted. All right. Something there-ish. Potentially with a center eye. Nah, don't love it. Nah, this eyebrow brush is too strong. There we go. Oh my, it's too strong. lower the intensity. So what's interesting with these multiple eye ones is there's not really eyebrows. So that's just kind of getting in the way. Maybe she'll look better without eyebrows. I didn't think about that. I kind of like her better without. Very good. I also like the idea of a center eye because it gives me the idea of her being clairvoyant in some way, which is a fun concept to play with. Gribnir is here. Hello, hello. It's been a little bit. We are working on a spider bard. Her name is Badira. I have to sneeze. Oh, I did not get my mic. I was reaching for it. I was trying. I had a dumb sneeze. That's okay. All right. I'm not happy about that. All right. I think I've always caught it. Anyway. We're not gonna super detail these. I'm just going to add a little bit of color and I'll just know that they're eyeballs. Does she have to do her makeup for each eye? It'd be hard, right? Ray is laughing. Don't. Yeah, I'll put her over here because she's looking really cool and I'm doing a lot of zoomed in work and it's kind of hard to see her otherwise. All right, I'm gonna duplicate the braid and fuck it up because it looks so smooth and now if something doesn't have Sculptress Pro ruining the whole thing, I don't think it looks good. I don't know why, I'm just obsessed with what Sculptress Pro does. And it's like Mia, it makes it look objectively worse. I'm like, no, it's magic. I don't know. I've changed the way that I work quite a lot. Just sculpt in a way that feels good. You'll do more sculpting and you'll make better stuff, even if it's wrong, even if it's a less efficient way. I don't make the rules. That's just how it is. Ah, beautiful. The volume of her bangs is weird. I don't like it, but I love a lot of other things. So let's swoop this section. Ooh, ooh, did you guys see that? Before, after, right? And now it flows right into her braid. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Kate says, another dumb question. Should I try to sculpt one of the heads you recommended as practice? I don't think that's a bad idea. Sculpt face planes, and I can just tell by the way the eye you sculpted, you're not using references still. Shame. References. There's so many different shapes of eyes, and if you just try to sculpt it from your head, it's just not going to be good. You know what's funny, Aloha? I unintentionally stumbled upon this workflow when I was working on that armor set that you said that you, like, it was like your favorite things I had made. And it actually looks really similar in vibes to this character. Isn't that funny? Yeah. The colors really help share the vision. They do. Oh no, she got me. I don't look at them enough, but I do have references. Okay, good. At least you have them. Paint, you're my favorite student to be mean to. And then we're gonna fluff the braid more using Move Topological. I'm gonna have to redo all my freaking lessons because, or make an intermediate version because all of them are based on really clean sculpting and now I'm like, don't do that. It looks so much better when it's like a little effed up. She doesn't even have multiple arms. What the heck? Okay. We are going to fix that, but first I'm gonna do work now so I don't have to do it later, which is painting her nails. And by her nails, I mean her whole hand. Oh, it's been 10 minutes. I was supposed to paint and I did a lot of other things. That's fine. I don't need a timer right now. I'm gonna add a little bit of a warmer color of shade to her elbows, her collarbones, in the middle of her chest. I don't know why I didn't say cleavage. Probably just doesn't have any. Her knees and her toes. Okay, this is really dumb, but like, if you that song when you were a little kid, like head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. That is where you add color variation. Like a really easy way to remember that, genuinely. And it continues. I can't remember the rest of it, but it's like eyes and nose and mouth and whatever. But like literally, it's just saying all your features. But like that is, if you want to like just make your character look a little more in depth, just grab a color, click C to select your skin color, pitch it a little warmer and then a little desaturated, and then you just sing the song and add a little scribble of color in each one of those pieces, and it will have a bunch more depth to it. That was one of my lamest tips ever, but like it was so accurate. I had to go with it, guys. Okay, I know it's a little too much boobage for what this model is. I'm sorry, I cannot stop. I really think that, I really like that. Not just, like the silhouette is nice. I do think it should be more of a halter top situation though, because I want to add more straps of fabric. So, oh my gosh, you can add paint, below you can add paint to Sculptors Pro and Snake Hook. Oh my God. Yes. I can't tell if I'm obsessed with Sculptors Pro because I didn't use it for so long or because it just vibes with my workflow so well. I'm not sure. All right, now multiple arms. Please go for a super low cut back, right? Right? Like, I was thinking the same thing. And then like, there's all this room to show all of her, you know, mini shoulder blades, which we still don't have multiple arms. All right, we're gonna do that right now. So to cut off an arm, grab your mask lasso brush, make sure you go around the deltoid. You want the whole deltoid, okay? But not the armpit. Use the mask pen brush to clean up your selection. And then, this is what really helps me, get that shoulder blade. It ends right here. You don't want the traps. I grab the lats. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, just like get the thing. All right, duplicate, Command W will polygroup it. So before, after. I can see that because I held Shift F, F for frame, and it'll show your poly stuff. All right, Command Shift click on that polygroup, and then delete hidden. If you have multiple subdivision levels, that will not work. If you don't know what subdivision levels are, and you're trying to follow, and you want to learn ZBrush, just join my course. For the love of God, I have a mentorship program. I will help you. All right, very good. Now that we have these arms by themselves, lower, and I'm going to tuck them under nicely. No, ZBrush. There we go. Every now and then does a little glitchy move thing, like it acts like the focal shift is like really low. If your focal shift's really low when you move stuff, here I'll show you. It does like this, see that ugly line? Every now and then it glitches and it will do that, even if my focal shift is 0. All right, we're gonna tuck in the shoulder blades. It's really important you're not ruining the small of the back and how pretty that is. Ew, I don't want Sculptors Pro on right now, go away. I have been using Sculptors Pro for so little that for so small amount of time, for so short. Why can't I talk? Anyway, I don't even know what the shortcut is. It's slash. Like forward slash? That's on the other side of my computer. That's useless. I will need to remap that later. Okay. Anyway. No, stop. You're being silly. I'm using my move brush, trying to keep some of that volume there. Not going too insane with this. I just want it to be a little bit more blended than it is. Why are you being so silly? Sometimes when you're working with a single-sided mesh, it gets happier, and other times it's angrier. There we go. That's what I wanted. And now I can use my brush from Flip Normals to build up this clay. Isn't that nice? Oh God, the Flip Normal brush pack is so delicious. It's $5 or something. You should get it. Yes, it's just based on brushes that are in ZBrush, but they're better. They really are. Command is Control. You are correct. Command is Alt for Apple. No. Command is Control and Option is Alt. Yes. All right, and because these look so weird because they're perfectly straight, I do want to pose them a little bit. I'm gonna grab about right there, and then I'm going to use my transpose line. Remember, wherever it's going to pivot, like from the elbow, that's where your transpose line goes. Don't put it here. That doesn't bend. You must put it on a joint or it looks ridiculous. If I put it here, it looks ridiculous. See that? It doesn't make any sense. Put it here. Aha. I mean, it's broken in a different way, but you're closer. All right. And then I just want to get a bit more of a relaxed shape here. There we go. Nothing crazy, just something a little nicer. And then I don't know how serious I'm going to be about getting all of these arms in here, or if we're just going to be happy with 4. I don't know. I'm undecided. I know 4 is easy. I don't know about this. I feel like well, her legs count, right? So we're done. We have enough appendages. It's enough slices. All right. Wait, no, being broken looks so spider though. That's true. That is true. My urge is to try to make that face, but I obviously can't do that without breaking my face. So again, I have these lines in here really harsh because it's easier for me to kind of change the proportions of the face while keeping all the planes there. I think I want to tuck her nose up a little bit. Nah, then she just looks disgusted. I have no idea what expression to give her. Or what, like, is she a nice spider? She doesn't look very nice. Very mean girl energy for sure. She doesn't have to be. All right, and then this situation I need to fix. Get back there. You can connect to her lats, but you can't be her armpit. Ah. All right, that's good enough. If you want your design to look more insect-like, whether you're designing a mech or something like this, all you have to do is make the joints a little skinnier, like what's leading up to the joints. So like make this skinnier and that skinnier. See? That's obviously really busted, but like, see how insectier she looks? Yeah. Ray said, zoned out or concentrated expression because she's been playing instruments. I like that. Catfish had something that made me pause because it's so good. Catfish says, I've been working on my own thing while listening. Why does it seem like the faster I work, the more I like the results? It's because you are vibing. You are in the flow. You are not saying no constantly as you sculpt. This is so important. I think it's why a lot of creatives are drawn to my stream, because I kind of work like in a fast, sloppy way. And I think it encourages people to kind of like loosen up and they end up having more fun. And that's very, very normal. When you watch someone who's really proficient sketch with a pencil, they don't look like this. These tiny little lines and panic. they look like this. They move from their arm, they're finding shapes. It's a lot of like fast, quick movements, and there's energy in that, I don't mean energy like chakra, but like literal energy, literal movement, and that does show in the design. So good. What you're feeling right now, what you're experiencing with, keep that up. It's so, so, so important. Yep. Okay, I like pinched her arms really messy and kind of like it. Just gonna leave it. From inspiration from Catfish. There you go. I'm also gonna push her shoulders, her deltoids down. So it's her shoulders, but oh, another thing that drives me crazy is like, don't make their shoulders like perfect like this. There's more of a slope. So don't forget that plane shift there. They should be sloping. Unless they're like really buff, which she's not. I also like using the Orb Cracks brush to detail everything now. It's really harsh, like that looks like a cut more than it looks like a skin fold. But you make that cut, and then looking at this, there's two options here, right? To smooth from. We can smooth from the top, I'll make it this color, or we can smooth from the bottom, make it this. It's the same color. ZBrush, there we go. So looking at these two areas here, which side is the volume coming from and where is it going away? You can think of your answer. Should I smooth the red section or the purple section? Anyway, it's the red section. You shouldn't smooth this. That doesn't make as much sense because now it's like wrapping upwards. But if I instead smooth on this side, we now have this like really nice, clear definition mark that paint will grab onto when 3D printed. And it's just nice. It's just nice. I didn't do it in symmetry, so I have to do it again. But, oh no, I did. Never mind. But I love that, and then I can also use Move and Backface Mask and push even more volume into that. And that's how I'm getting a lot more confident looking creases in my fabric and my skin folds, and really just all of my art has been a little punchier recently. All right, I'm going to use my Flip Normal soft brush and kind of commit to some of these forms a little bit more here. You can be wrong when you sculpt, but you better be committed. Because if you're not committed, you won't remember what you did. And so even if it was wrong, you won't know what to fix. And if it was right, you won't know how to do it again. Does that make sense? I used to say don't mumble when you sculpt, and I still mean that. But there was another thing that was making that successful, and it was if you work intentionally, you remember it, as opposed to just fumbling around and hoping for the best. I was one of those artists where like I could draw really good faces sometimes, but I couldn't do it consistently, and that's why, because I was kind of, every now and then I would guess correctly, and I would get stuff in the right place. But because I was guessing, I didn't know why. So I wasn't able to replicate those results. I'm gonna start adding some bullshit details here, and by that I mean they're not real. I just think they look good and they feel spidery. Love me some bullshit details. I really, really do. And don't let anyone take that away from you. Like, when you get into the accuracy, it's almost like a gym bro mentality takes over, where it's like, will this serratus, striatus, serious, also cumulus, that's a cloud, muscle, actually moves like this. And I'm like, fuck you, she has 6 arms. We're past that, okay? It looks cool. Let your art be fun, especially if you're not doing it professionally. Please, for the love of God. Just let your art be fun. I know cloud names because my dad's a weatherman. Feels appropriate to mention my weatherman dad. Have not mentioned weatherman dad in a little bit. All right, that's looking pretty cool. Having a lot of fun with that. I would like to add similar striations to her chest. One, to draw attention to boobs, because I don't know, it feels like an appealing design. And 2, because details are cool. All right. that to be exaggerated too, but I don't want it looking chunky, muscular. And again, I'm using the orb crack brush for this, which I used to only use for hard surface, and now I use it for everything. I just make sure I smooth on one side or the other. Again, where is the volume coming from? There's an opportunity here to do some sort of a web-like detail on her heart. I just don't know how to draw a spider web, apparently. Is that a spider web? Am I doing it? No, but it's cool. Right, so I went to get food. Did we decide on a third set of arms? I have not. I don't know. No, we have not. There goes a check off the bingo board. I'm erasing this weird spiderweb thing because I don't know what I want. Ooh, I can use this to exaggerate that teardrop shape instead, which is what I'm trying to draw more emphasis to. Why? I don't know. I just think it's cool. I just think it's neat. I feel like I quote The Simpsons a lot. I'm not like some mega Simpsons fan. I'm not a fan, but like I just feel the need to clarify. I don't know why I've been quoting that so much today. All right. Legs. Joints need to stand out a touch more. But I don't want her just looking emaciated. I want it looking bug-like. There's a difference. I also don't want to just lose that quad muscle entirely because it's really nice. So I'm going to bring it back a little bit, but with this new silhouette. Very nice. There we go. So here's our before, kind of. Here's our after. You know, there's a lot of things that still need to happen, but it's happening. I got an idea. Can this be the pretty form and then have a more monster spider look for Grimdark? I think her outfit is what's going to bring a lot of the Grimdark. I know it just keeps getting more and more slutty. I just can't stop myself. Stop it, Mia. There's a happy medium here. I just know it. Some of the Grimdark. So to me, like what makes me the Grimdark, other than having spooky features, it's the way things are detailed. It's the absolute, in my opinion, absurdity of detail, usually at that. Like I feel like she needs like a cape or like a train. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I made a fabric fold right here, and I really think this design would benefit if I just made these separate pieces. It gives me a little bit more control. Let's remove that back piece right there. Polygroup split, very good. Now I've got this piece here I can do even more with. So let's go into our 3D gizmo and zoom. Nope, I need to mask the top. I didn't mask the top. Yeah, it's not quite it, but now I have more control over finding this it, whatever that might be. Let me look at my references. More wrappings. That's gonna be a big part here. Let me try it out on this arm. I'm gonna duplicate it. Hide the other one, and then toy with that. So for wrappings, I tend to go with a really, simple approach. I don't worry about overlaps until the end. So I just do some masking, I invert it, and then I inflate. In this case, we're going to want to polypaint it to show that it's a different thing. little messy, which is fine. Just toying with the idea of it right now. Meh, don't really like it. It doesn't have a flow to it. Now that I thought of that though, I kind of know what's missing. So I'll leave that as it is. I'll grab my snake hook brush, and then these wrappings are going to be tattered. And that's going to be the answer. So when I had them masked like that, I'm going to mask it again. I can delete this section here, close holes, bam, got a bunch of wrappings I can now really easily move around. Yeah, if you blink, you'll miss what's going on. It can be a little, sometimes it feels really slow, and then it kind of has like these, you know, watershed moments. I think I meant to say avalanche. I said watershed. I don't know what that word means. Feels political. All right. Kind of toying with that, seeing if I can actually overlap those really easily, and it looks like I can. All right, but what I really wanted to do, and what I was actually excited about, was making these flappy. Yeah, hell yeah. And of course, making them asymmetrical. Grimdark to me looks like a model or, you know, an art piece where they really were like, you know, I could have saved a lot of time by doing this symmetrically, but I want problems. And so not a single spot on the model was done efficiently. This neck piece is going to connect, I just don't know in what way. Potentially have a spider carapace on some of the exposed skin. Hell yeah. Yes. Spider carapace. I can concept that quickly by grabbing my chisel organic brush and finding a shape that feels carapacey. There we go, carapace, kind of. And then just seeing where I'd want to put those. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. And it'll help kind of distinguish where these joints are at and make these joints look a little more confident. Let's see if I can tuck that kind of under the collarbone. I'm gonna need to mask this section to make it more intentional. That's fine. Cool. I was wanting a detail right here and I couldn't figure out what it was. And that was it. Thank you, Ray. When Sator's not here, I feel like Ray says what Sator would have said. So excited to have Sator back, and then you guys can both tell me to do the same thing at the same time. Damn, it looked way better than I expected. Oh, I just thought you were like a fucking genius. I was like, wow, you shouldn't have said that. I was so impressed. I mean, you still get credit. You still get credit, but like, damn. Where else? Ooh, these could do something. There's something with this I can do on her face. I just don't want to figure that out right now. Oh yeah, it'll be something here-ish. I just don't have that figured out yet. I don't think she's an eyebrow kind of gal. No. darker feet. Yep. Hello, Reaper. Hello, hello. I didn't have ambient occlusion on this entire time. Ugh. Okay, why is it so intense? Relax. It's just like a nice little thing we can do. It doesn't need to be insane. Yeah. This is also really, really dark. I can go away. We don't have any highlights here, so it's a little hard to differentiate the things that are going on. I don't know if I have the skill to paint that quickly, but I'm sure gonna try. Maybe a red highlight. Yeah. Yes. I do have the power. Cool. Just gonna add a couple red accents here and there. Nothing final in the design, just something that I can kind of go back to help see what the fuck is going on with this design, because it very quickly becomes convoluted and a little hard to read. There's some simplifying goodness that can happen here, but we're having too much fun to simplify too much. Cool. Still too dark. I don't know how to fix that. Like, I know how to fix that like in Procreate. I don't know how to fix that in ZBrush. When I go with this really muddy color, I want to be able to adjust colors on all my subtools at once. Is that even a thing? I don't think it is. If it was a thing, it'd be under Subtool Master. Voice getting all scratchy. I can do a ray mesh, I can shift. It's not helpful. The best bet would be to merge everything down and then shift light colors. Not the worst thing. Here, we can do that. I went to merge visible, just so it's one piece. I'm gonna go to poly paint, adjust colors, and let's see if I can get a little, I can fix this. Ooh, we can change the entire color palette if we wanted to. I'm gonna move into teach mode really quick so you guys can see this color nonsense I'm doing here. See? I do like the red color palette a lot. All right, we can lighten her up a little bit. Increase the intensity, and then really it's a contrast issue as well. That barely changed anything. Maybe I like what I have. Okay. False alarm. That always feels good when you shift your colors and it's like virtually no change. Okay. Never mind. I might just need to play with lighting. I'm glad I've been making Ray laugh today. I can tell I've been making Ray laugh a lot today. Ooh, spooky lighting. What if I just add like one more light, but I don't make it like busted. It's too much light. I'm looking at my other monitor because I feel like if I look at the monitor in front of me, I can't see. Do you guys ever do that? No, you don't stream. Why would you do that? It's the same thing as like flipping your canvas is what it feels like. I feel like this other light just makes her hard to see. Whatever, they're both fun. Okay, we're gonna do a little spinny. Here is our spider bard Spadira. This is just the beginning. But I can say with complete confidence, I could not have made this last year, and that feels great. Last year, Mia was doing her best. Last year, Mia is why I'm here, which is great. But like, damn, that's so fun. It's only been 2 hours, and literally an hour of this was just gathering references and talking. I feel like I'm putting out what I preach in a lot of ways, which is really important. Does she need, like, talons? Not talons. What is it called when it's out of your mouth? Tusks. Fangs. There we go. Jesus. All right. Let me see what that would look like really quick. I'm not going to explain how to do these because I've done it 1,000 times. But if you're like, oh my gosh, how'd you do that so fast? I will tell you. This is kind of what Sean's was suggesting earlier, but with hair. So if I don't like how it looks, when it looks like teeth, I could just make it hair. Because I just think that'd be really cool. If I like tucked it behind, I don't know. I don't think this is it. I mean, it doesn't help that I didn't even put it in her mouth. That's a bad thing to say. Okay. I don't know about that. No, we're not doing it. Okay. All right, we are going to do a fun render. Here's how you do it. You go to Merge Visible. Make sure your settings don't get all goofed up. Once you have one of your things, I like going, just duplicating it, and then don't move your scene around. Just use the 3D gizmo from here on out, okay? Again, only use your 3D gizmo from here on out. I like to do a close-up. And then we'll do a one, another duplicate, spin around, and then a little ankle. And then you got something nice you can put on, you know, the social medias. All right, comma. I got a couple different presets I really like to use. Don't spiders have their mandibles pointing down? Yeah, that would have helped. That would have helped. Ooh, spoopy. Awesome. Well, this has been really fun. All right, I'm going to take a screenshot. Oh, maybe of my face, maybe of the stream. Yeah, I was taking a screenshot of the wrong thing. But I want to have my references really clear. I know people don't care about my ZBrush UI as much as I do. Okay, I'll take a screenshot of the stream. I feel like I was sitting so short today. There. Come on, torso. There. Okay. We're gonna do a screenshot in just a second here. I'm telling you guys as if you have to smile. I don't know why. Okay, smile. Done. Great. Well, this has been really fun. If you've been hanging out and you're not already, you should subscribe because I'm gonna do this like twice a week at least, and it's really fun. Even better than that though, because subscribing is one thing. Join Discord. That's where all the things happen, honestly, and that's where I am most of the time. Awesome. If you have any last minute questions, now is the time to ask. If not, you can ask me tomorrow. I plan to stream tomorrow as well. Be a good time. I had so much fun doing this. Oh my gosh, I love doing these Taverb Chronicle episodes. So cool. Where's that pinup channel? That is going to be in Discord. I'm going to make an announcement, and then if you react to it, you get a role, and then you will see secret channels where I will do secret streams. I love it. You will see it soon. Yes. Yes. It's gonna be a good time. Oh, that was so fun. I could spend a whole stream just working on her face. There's some things I want to push on this to look better. It is looking grimdark. I didn't make it too pretty. I'm glad. I was worried it'd look a little too folky. Yeah. Very good. It's very likely that the secret channels on my Discord for my spicy peasants, it's not just gonna be spicy art streams. It's gonna be when I want like to hang out with like my core people and nobody else. So yeah, if you're a lurker, you're more than welcome to be part of that. Like my core people don't even have people that chat, just like not randos. You know, people I can just talk. Yeah, I know I can do that on YouTube. Like it's a small channel, but I don't know. It just feels so public, because it is. I shall be here tomorrow, or I shall be square. Oh, it's so nice to have Ray back regular in the tavern. All we're missing is Satyr. Soon. We have heard from Satyr recently in the mod chat. He's alive, as he literally said, I am alive, so this is good. Oh, thank you for screenshotting that, Ray, and sharing that with everyone. Just in case you missed it earlier when I was just derping around. We do have a Taverb Quotes channel still. I think it was like in, I think it was in the project references form. I don't know. Gorgeous. There we go. That's what you guys really want. Oh my goodness. Why is sculpting so funny? Life is so much easier if you have a sense of humor. It really is. Speaking of, my tiny little town has run out of water. It hasn't hit my house yet, but it looks like I'm not going to have running water. Worst case scenario for up to 4 months. I don't even want to fucking talk about it, so I won't. But just know, some of the salt, if you guys hear it in the future, is very real. Guess I'll just jump in a lake. Okay. When I say I live in a small town, I cannot stress that enough. I live in a small town, and no, there's not a drought. There's just like apparently a groundhog works at the freaking water filtration system. We just put a hat on him. We're like, what could go wrong? Okay, I'm still talking about this. I'm gonna stream tomorrow, probably around the same time, maybe as early as noon Eastern time. Just keep an eye out. Yeah. We have enjoyed you sharing your work, Catfish. Keep going, keep working. Reaper says, I feel that. I too have went several months without running water. Small town problems. Washing hair was interesting. Yep. I don't want to cut. I think what you guys are going to see, my hair is going to be braided like a lot. And you're like, wow, Mia really likes braids. I'll be like, contain the funk. Oh my goodness. I already use cornstarch and stuff. Speaking of, dry shampoo is expensive. Just use cornstarch. That shit, it's the same. It's fantastic. It's great. If you have not light hair and it'll just look white, you can mix cocoa powder in it and it works the same. You smell like freaking cocoa powder. It's amazing. But yeah, highly recommend. Okay. I will see you guys tomorrow. That's a weird note to end that on. We're always treading new ground here. Take care. And I need a sign off. You guys need to come up with a quirky sign off for me. I don't know what to say. Oh, Ricky had one. It was cute. It was like, live well, like roll high and something else. I can't remember. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.